If you're a man who's finding it incredibly difficult to stick to his goals or to get motivated, this video is for you. Over the last few years, I've worked with a lot of different men in a lot of careers. Entrepreneurs, executives, blue-collar jobs, you name it, but a lot of the same themes tend to crop up. And usually it accumulates in a man having something like a quarter-life crisis or a midlife crisis, not really understanding his identity, his role in the world, his purpose, his passion, and it all kind of revolves around his goals. And he starts to feel slow, he starts to feel like he doesn't really know what he's going after anymore, or the things that he used to really enjoy going after, he doesn't anymore. So why does that happen, and what are the things that we can do to stop it? One of the first reasons I see this happening is because the goal was never his in the first place. Usually a man is trained by society that he has to go to college, get a job, just to work and support a family, so he doesn't naturally gravitate towards his likes, his purpose, his passion, but more towards expectations that other people have of him. Maybe he's got parents that expect things from him, a spouse that expects things from him, and he just feels a certain sense of responsibility to take care of others as opposed to doing what he enjoys. So of course, if this is what you're used to, you're not going to be motivated to go after your own goals because they're not your goals in the first place. If this is something you resonate with, you're really going to want to take inventory of what are your goals versus other people's expectations of you and what your priority really is at the end of the day. Of course, we all have responsibilities. We have to take care of our own self, of other people. But how much does the priority weigh over your own enjoyment? Because if you use 50 years just to make other people happy, but you're not really motivated and you don't really like what you do, not only do you waste 50 years of time from your life, but you don't even feel accomplished or successful because you weren't as motivated, so you didn't even get as far in that career as maybe you could have doing something that you really loved. So it's like a double-edged sword of feeling like time is wasted and your potential is wasted. So you really want to take some inventory. What are other people's expectations of me versus what are my own expectations for me? Versus what are my responsibilities? And you can do a Venn diagram for that because in the middle somewhere, there's going to be a balance of things that you enjoy that you can do while also handling your responsibilities. The next big reason I see men not feeling motivated or giving up on their goals is because there's no perceived payoff and no enjoyment along the way. Usually I see men running towards the goal that they have, but there's no happy places along the way. So there's no sense of achievement, there's no sense of fulfillment, and it just kind of feels like this autopilot, day in, day out type of thing, where there's no rest, no relaxation, and just no self-appreciation. There's no self-compassion. There's not even appreciation or compassion from the people around you usually. So how can you set up little reward centers along the way to make yourself feel like you're actually accomplishing something? If this is something that's resonating with you, really take a look at how you measure success. And there can be levels to success. Success doesn't have to be, I achieved every single thing. I'm on Time magazine. I've got the $1 million in the bank. I've got all the cars that I want. Can it be the steps that you're taking towards those things? You know, have the levels of success so that you feel like if I get this done today, I have done all I could do today to start succeeding for this 10-year goal, for this 5-year goal, for this 3-month goal. When you break it down, you actually feel movement, you actually feel momentum and like you're getting somewhere. Because often what I see is men feeling very overwhelmed, very stressed because their goals are so big that they feel like it's too much, it's too far off in the distance, and they're a failure because they haven't gotten there yet. They're looking around at everybody else who's successful and feeling like because they're not there yet, they haven't succeeded as a man. So have a big goal, but measure down so that you have ladders of success that make you feel like you're achieving something. Third and final reason that I see most men abandon their goals, especially when they're almost at the top, especially for entrepreneurs, if you've been working towards this goal for 5-10 years, you're almost there, and then all of a sudden you want to change careers, or you're sick of it, or you want to move on. I'm going to show this actually on the whiteboard, that's why I'm standing up. This is something that I call the mountain theory, let's call it. You have a mountain, you have a goal that you've been working towards for the longest time. Like you can't even remember how long you've been working towards this goal. And for some reason, now that you're almost there, that's when you're getting sick of it. So you've been going. You're right here. And you can see the top. And this is your flag of success, right? But you started from here. And so what we forget is that when you have a big goal like this, you have something to look forward to. All this time you were climbing, climbing, climbing. It was difficult, it was difficult, it was difficult. But by the time you got up here, you saw the view. And at a certain point, if you've ever been hiking or you've ever gone sightseeing, you get to a certain point, you're like, oh my God, this view is amazing. This view is amazing. It can't get any better than this. It can't get any better than this. But once you get close enough to the top, the view from here and the view to here is not that much different. It is different, but it's not that much different. So by the time that you get up here, from here, it's very different. From here to here, the view is completely different. Your life completely changes. The amount of money that you make, the struggles that you go to, the challenges that you have to face to get from here to here, the type of person that you have to be, it's completely different. So by the time that you get up here, from here to here, you're not seeing as drastic of difference. You're not seeing as drastic of changes. So then we start to self-sabotage by looking for a completely different mountain that could be at the same level of success. It could be at the same level of challenges, but our mind thinks, oh, because it's a different career, it's a different person, that means I'm gonna have to climb from the bottom again. But all we actually have to do, and this is what I help my clients with, is we build a new mountain above this one. So we're not gonna ignore climbing to the top, but we're gonna make the top higher. Every time I work with a client and we look at these goals, we have to reevaluate. Because if it doesn't change you, why would you change? If it doesn't challenge you enough, of course you're not gonna feel motivated. You wanna lose 300 pounds versus 5 pounds, that's a totally big difference. So you have to imagine yourself now as likely you were a young person when you set this first goal. Now you're older, you're more successful, you're wiser, and you have to reestablish your goals to something that's actually going to motivate you in the position that you're in right now. You have to raise the standards, you have to raise the bar. That's why having a third party is so useful, because other people can see your potential a lot more than you can see your own potential. And this is also where a lot of entrepreneurs get stuck, because they've gotten themselves to this point now where they're at. And this is why they need a new mentor, because they just can't see beyond a certain peak, a certain mountain. And they need other people who have had different experiences to kind of, mentally raise that level, that mountain for them, so that you feel invigorated again, so that you feel like I'm working towards something again. Because if it's just a few feet, why would you climb it? You're fine where you're at. There's not much of a difference. So you start to lose motivation. So at this point, this is what I help my clients with the most, is building a bigger mountain so you feel more motivated again, and you don't have to start all over or self-sabotage or ruin your life, but create a new life within the one you've already built. If this video helped you at all, please let me know in the comment section below, as I love to hear all about your self-discoveries. And if you haven't yet, feel free to sign up for the free Men's Mental Health Masterclass, where you can take a deeper dive into your own healing, and I will see you in the next video.